Welcome back to They Did What? Your source for the internet's craziest, most entertaining stories, where I go over them, analyze them, and most certainly make fun of them. Today, your story titled, I confirmed it yesterday. What I found was worse than I can imagine. And a shout out to Jack for sending this story. And guys, this story is about a guy. He's 35 years old. He's been married for like 5 years now to a woman he knew for less than a year, but he married her anyway. And to no surprise, trouble in paradise from the get-go. And when clearly things have gotten out of control, he starts really discovering a lot of things which she's doing behind the scenes. It ain't pretty. Which goes to show you guys, you never rush into things, especially marriage. Because surprise, surprise, if you do, you don't know her, and you're going to really learn who she is when it's too late. And you're also going to see, guys, that this chick has no respect for this guy and treats him accordingly. But when he finally sees her true colors, he's now going to act the way he should. But my God, what he has to go through to wake up to see reality here. So there's a lot of good lessons here, not to mention the crap they pull behind the scenes. Holy cow. So it starts off, says here, we had a whirlwind romance in 2019 and got married in 2020. Smack. 1 year, less than a year, you nuts? She's now 32 and the only woman I, a 35-year-old male, have ever been with. And that explains more things. She had a few boyfriends and partners during her school and college phase. I didn't really think anything about it. Our 5-year anniversary is coming up this month. College phase, I think we call that something else over here, more like a HOE phase. Our marriage has suffered from multiple issues. A low libido for me, her failed business, and refusal to find a job because working 9 to 5 is beneath her. Oh, okay, Your Majesty. Well, everybody else out there who does 9 to 5 or 8 to 6 or something worse, oh, too bad for her. And putting effort into the business is also difficult for her. She has temper issues from both sides, smoking from my side. Her constantly threatening divorce from the very beginning of our marriage. Her issues with keeping the house and kitchen clean. He says she's a total slob to the point where eating food from the kitchen without me cleaning is a legitimate health hazard, which made me feel like she wasn't invested in the marriage. Wow, what a great relationship. Maybe if you spent more than a year getting to know her before you married her, you would have realized that she is a slob. She doesn't care about you. Thinks she's high and mighty. She can't have a regular 9 to 5 job, that type of thing. But no, he had to rush into marriage. But he says he's never been with anybody before her. Meaning, he wanted to get some. Finally, a girl's paying attention to him. But he learns. Well, back in May, we had a particularly nasty fight, which ended up with the two of us not talking. Eventually, I texted her so that we wouldn't get into another argument about how she refuses to understand my pain, and suddenly, that flipped a switch in her. Literally the next morning, she says she wants a divorce. Well, you know what? Take that as a good thing, because this is a terrible marriage. I think, oh God, she's doing it again. Okay, man, she's upset. Okay, calm her down, smooth things over. You're going to compromise in your needs, let her feel comfortable and safe. She'll calm down eventually, and we can move past this. Smack! This is why she treats you like shit. Because you're a mangina. At least you're behaving like a mangina. Happy life, happy wife, happy life. Well, clearly that's not the case. You just never stand up for yourself. And she's also an asshole. Nope, she's adamant. She puts her foot down and demands a divorce, no discussions, no meditation, no visiting the therapist, who I've mentioned is always supporting her side, but we still went there because she felt at ease. She demands that I give her a divorce by mutual consent immediately, and she won't ask anything from me in return. I told her that it wouldn't be possible to grant divorce immediately. Bro, get out of this. What are you trying to save here? She asks why, and I remind her of our situation and her situation I'm currently going through. I won't reveal any details, but I'm applying for something for career advancement, which makes my application look a lot better if I'm married on paper. So she tells me to leave the house and separate. It's your house too. Well, the house we live in is her mother's. We moved to one of the floors here to support my mother-in-law since my father-in-law had passed away during the pandemic. At times when I wanted to leave, mother-in-law would emotionally manipulate her into staying because mother-in-law is a helicopter parent who can't take a decision that other people have made. Oh, joy. So now he has to deal with the freaking mother-in-law. Well, it's still his place, legal residence, but maybe it is a good idea he gets out of there. Prior to the separation, I have had a few talks with her to understand the mentality behind her divorce, because I'm believing that we can work through this and we don't have to throw away a marriage. This isn't a marriage. This is a prison sentence. Why do you want to stay in this, dude? I'm willing to bet you. I don't know, but I'm willing to bet you. Either he doesn't have a father or a strong father to set a good example. That probably, he said, this is the first woman he's ever been with, and he doesn't know any better. This is what happens, guys. This is why a young man needs a good role model, a mentor, and have some self-respect, self-love to not put up with this shit. This is not worth saving. She starts talking about vague sentiments, like she would say, I poured so much love into you, and I've lost myself. Now I need to be selfish. I need to find myself. I need to discover myself, she said. She said, this is my journey of self-healing. I can't be weighed down by the social contract of marriage without giving my details of what exactly the issue of the concept of marriage is. Well, when a woman says she needs to find herself or discover herself, what she really means is, well, I want Chad or Tyrone or somebody that acts more like a man than you to discover my parts. That's what it means. And she can't be held down by the social construct of marriage. No, she doesn't be with you, dude. Because I have never ever done any harm to her, never hit her, never restricted her to do anything. She has her own friends, and she takes my car out more than I do. But eventually, she refuses to give me anything beyond that. She tells me that we can divorce, stay apart for 2 to 3 years, and if we see progress, we can get back together. What, put you on layaway for 2 to 3 years when she tries to find somebody else? And if that doesn't work out, okay, she'll take you back? Who the hell would do that? Not under marriage, but with love or something, and have a child together. I tell her that being married is important to me, and if I want to have a child, that I won't put a child through a life where they have to spend time with one parent for a week and the other parent another week. Eventually, this goes nowhere. So I prepare for the separation. I ask for some time, and eventually, after searching and finding nothing, I decide to move to my father's place, who lives at the other side of the city. The separation happened in early June. Okay, he has a father, but clearly father didn't teach him anything, which is usually the case. I take the separation as a life lesson and start working on myself. There you go. That's what you need to do. Remember, you rushed into this marriage. It was stupid. I go to the therapist to work on my temper. I start working out to improve my libido, quitting smoking, etc. I also make my affirmations and provide regular updates to her about my progress, but she's still adamant about the divorce. Smack! In other words, you're trying to say, look how much I've improved. Take me back, take me back. Like you're trying to, like a little boy trying to get mommy's approval, make your mommy happy. Dude, no woman's going to be attracted to that. Now, this woman is an a-hole, and as you all can already tell, and you're going to find out, but still, this guy, he ain't helping himself, as most guys don't. She says to me she'll help me with the application so I can get the job, but after that is done, she wants a divorce. And she says the same vague statements about self-healing, self-discovery, being selfish, about her love, etc. Yes, this gives me the suspicion, but I throw it out of my head because my wife absolutely hates cheaters just as much as I do. Yeah, well, I've heard women say lots of times how they hate bad boys and they date bad boys. They say they hate cheaters and they cheat themselves. Remember, never listen to what they say. Pay attention to what they do, their actions, not their words. She and I chewed out a distant acquaintance for stepping out on his marriage last year, but I chose to believe the best in my wife. 2 weeks prior to this post, she asked me to come by and watch the house since she wanted me to take care of the cats that we have, since she wanted to visit a nearby city where her cousin and her husband lived. I agreed, and I noticed the house is a mess, which is usual for her. So I began cleaning the kitchen, dining room, hall, and my old office, and then our bedroom. I noticed the side table drawers are messy, so I open them up and take things out one by one to sort and disorganize them. Smack! It's not your job to clean her fucking house. I mean, what the hell? Again, you wonder why she doesn't have any respect for you? Now, I got no problem with him stopping by and taking care of the cats because they were his cats when they were living together. Maybe he should take them in. Or maybe he doesn't want a big messy place for the cats. Who knows? But still. But at least he discovers what he's about to discover here. Well, that's when I found it. 2 condoms. Aha. We don't use condoms. We've been trying for a child for the last year. Moreover, this brand is one that I never buy. It means they're probably giant condoms for Chad or Tyrone's dick. While alarm bells ring in my head, I message my younger brother, who lives halfway across the country, and we both say there's no good explanation for this. But this is inconclusive. She could pass it off as, oh, that's something a friend dropped by. It slipped out of her purse. I need more evidence. A friend stopped by. Oops, the condoms fell out of my purse. Really? Well, fast forward to yesterday. I visited her at this point. at this part-time place she's subbing from her friend. She's going on vacation with a friend for the weekend, so I have to pet sit for the cats for the weekend. She tells me that one of her apps isn't working and asks me to fix it. Dude, you're at her beck and fucking call. I mean, my God. I noticed the opportunity, and I asked her to get me some water, so she stepped out of the room. I opened the message app and found some men's names I did not recognize. I quickly synced her WhatsApp to my laptop browser and closed it before she saw anything. Here we go, Pandora's box. I quickly head to the house and open my laptop, and there it is. She's been using Reddit for those sleazebag subreddits, posting photos of her private areas, verifying herself on subreddits. She's had at least 4 partners. She's told them that she got divorced last December already, and that I was incapable, impotent, abusive, etc. But for the record, I've never laid a finger on her. Well, I believe that. And of course, she's making this guy out to be the bad guy here, and she's telling everybody on Reddit and her hookups that she's single. And by the way, guys, I didn't know this, but it turns out Reddit is like a massive PORN site for like, this is where the OnlyFans girls advertise themselves, because it isn't just X that the OnlyFans girls advertise themselves, or Instagram, it's Reddit. But I'm talking, it's out there. A lot of people didn't. I had no idea about this until recently. What really made things apparent was the timeline. The earliest text that I could find was June 8th, the day I had left the house. Prior to that, WhatsApp was set to having disappearing messages. Her first escapade was 2 days later. Dude, of course she's hooking up with other guys. She's probably hooking up with other guys the entire time of your marriage. And probably the reason she got married is because she just was probably turning 30. She wanted a ring on her finger, nothing more, and she knew you were a sure thing. Well, the browser crashed, and when I relaunched it, I saw that I'd been kicked out. She called me immediately, demanding to know if I had synced to her WhatsApp. I played off, saying I didn't know what she was talking about, and that driving under the hot sun tired me out, and that I was asleep. She sounded like she bought it, but I guess the suspicion would still be there, but what she said made me angry. She said, "You didn't sync? Okay, good. For a minute there, I was thinking the worst of you." I knew I had to keep my cool, and didn't confront her immediately. But I knew that I couldn't be alone, and I needed someone to support me. I called my best mates over, and they rushed over as fast as they could, listening to what I had to say, taking me out for food and a movie, and checking up on me every few hours. Bro, technically you're still married, but let's be honest, you're getting divorced. But yeah, she's sleeping with other guys. It's one thing if she's having one guy, but this is multiple guys advertising herself on Reddit. She's a piece of garbage, okay? How many signs from God or the universe or somebody do you need to know that this is over? Well, she called me earlier today from her vacation saying that she missed me, she loved me, but the reality of the divorce is sinking in, and that's while she's still going to go through with it, she's learned so much from me about punctuality, cleanliness, and discipline. I rolled my eyes so hard they went back in my skull, and I pretended like I was still open for reconciliation. She talked again about how we should both preserve our genetic material for when we have a baby, and I told her firmly that I will not have a child out of wedlock. Well, good for you, man. Notice she's already talking about that she misses him and loves him and all that crap, probably because things aren't working out with guys on the side. She's starting to realize a lot of guys out there are scumbags. But if it's sacred for me, I refuse to raise a child when the parents are separated and not married. I do not believe that makes for a good household to raise a child. If divorce is something you really want, then I'll give it to you, but I won't give you a child. She seemed annoyed at that, and I heard her scoff. Yeah, she wants a child, but she doesn't want to be with you. And that way she can have an insurance policy. Now, she could easily get pregnant by all the guys she's sleeping with that she's meeting through Reddit, but this guy she knows will be a guaranteed, paycheck. But after a bit more small talk, she ended the phone call. I know now that I can maintain a straight face when I have to lie to her. My best buddies are also ensuring that I extricate myself from her so she can't ask me to come over and watch the house for the cats. I know for a fact that the last time I found the condom, she met a partner in the city and they had a night together. Dude, she doesn't give a shit about you. End of story. This is why you don't rush into a relationship, let alone marriages. You didn't even know her. I have to keep my head down and play the part until I can safely extricate myself from this. But there are flashes of me wanting to confront her. Of course, confronting her with her mother and her elder sister, her nephews, her brother-in-law, because everyone right now believes that I was an abuser. Of course, everybody believes that because she controlled the narrative. That's why the guy has to control the narrative. But I need to stay the villain right now. Please give me advice on my situation, and how can I stay silent and act like I did during the phone call? I also discovered a Reddit post that confirmed to me that she did it on our marital bed. As I reread this, and I checked the recordings, I realized what this had been going on earlier than June 8th. WhatsApp status shows that she turned off disappearing messages since then, which means that she felt confident to turn it off, and I left the house since there was no one catching her cheating. What a giant mess. Anyhow, good. I'm glad he's now realizing, waking up to reality. This is not going to work out, but I mean, you can't be this surprised. So guys, the lesson of the story is don't rush into relationships. Don't rush to get married. End of story. You need to get to know your girl for a while. This guy was clearly desperate. He said this woman here was the first person he ever slept with. Probably she's like, okay, I need to get married because I'm getting close to 30. Saw this guy. A woman could pick out a nice beta guy a mile away. Slept with him. He fell in love with her. And here you go. And this guy's got all sorts of problems. He followed the narrative. He was being a yes man to her. Made her lose more respect for him. And I guarantee she's been cheating this whole time. And then he was being at her beck and call, taking care of the cats, fixing her apps. All that. It's ridiculous. Move the hell on. He's young. He's 32. He's got his whole life ahead of him. Okay, or he's 35, whatever it is. Work on yourself. Work on not being such a freaking pleaser, kiss ass. Keep hitting the gym, doing all those things, and get a good life going. And if you like cats, get your own cats. Or you can adopt hers if she doesn't want them anymore, but I highly doubt that. And let her go on. But here's the thing. Women like that, I guarantee you, and she was already showing at the end, eventually she's going to realize that she wants this guy back. Not because she loves him, because he's a sure thing. He's secure, a paycheck. She's looking for a replacement. And that whole crap about she misses him and loves him, that's bullshit. But she's starting to realize it isn't too good out there. So, there you go, guys. Learn from this dude's mistakes. That's why I share these type of stories. And it's always entertaining seeing the crap that women pull behind the scenes. Alright, guys, that's it for today. Be sure to comment down below. Let me know what you think about this. And be sure to like the video, share it with your friends, and subscribe. I'll catch you next time.